Strangers. These are very different books. Oh, it's long. I made the decision. I can't put it back now. Okay. I'm like so giddy. This is so much fun. Okay. We're gonna be picking books for my summer TBR, and we're gonna be using my TBR jar. I have not used one of these in so long. There are 15 prompts in here. It looks like there's 5, but I swear there are more than just 5. This is my entire physical TBR right now, but I just like to have like a condensed version for the summer because I am going on a couple trips this summer and so like a lot of things going on. So it'd be kind of fun to just have like a smaller pile of books that I'm pulling from. We're gonna pick 8 books, but I do have 2 other books that are like already on my summer TBR. So really I have 10 books that I plan to read or hope to read over the next 2 months. That'd be very ambitious, but I read a lot on vacations. Like I kind of feel like I can do it. First is Phoebe Berman's Gonna Lose It. I'm actually reading this right now. I'm on chapter 4, so not too far in, but this is like the first book on my summer TBR. And then my book club book for June is Dolly All the Time by Annabelle Monahan. I don't know how to say her name. So let's pick our other 8 books. I'm just gonna get started. Oh, okay. This one says most anticipated at the moment. My handwriting is so bad, so I apologize. What is my most anticipated read on my shelf? Hold on, let me look. Oops, hold on. I feel like there are 2 books on my shelf that are most anticipated for me. First is Beach Read. Second one is Strangers. These are very different books. This one I've had for a minute. I've read every other Emily Henry book. This is the last one I have to read. So I definitely want to read this summer. Like I want to read it in general and I've been trying to hold off. And I just got Strangers. I've heard nothing but great things. This is right up my alley. Like definitely the kind of book that I'm into lately. But I think I'm gonna pick Beach Read because I just want to read this so bad. And even if it's on the TBR, I'm probably gonna read it anyway. So our first book is gonna be Beach Read. Okay, let's pick our second one. Oh, it's long. It says based on a place you are going to or have been to. I need to like actually think about this one. Okay, these are all of the ones that I know off the top of my head I've been to. I don't think I'm going to any of these places other than like, this book takes place in Sullivan's Island, which is like where I live. I live in Charleston, so I'll probably be going to Sullivan's sometime this summer. So this is the only one that I think is like a place that I'm gonna go this summer. Ellen Hildebrand writes about Nantucket. I went to Nantucket 2 years ago now. So not going to Nantucket this year, but I've been there. And then A Tree Grows in Brooklyn is obviously about New York. I've been to New York. I've been to Brooklyn. Not going there this summer, so I don't really know if that counts. I don't know about the other books. Like I don't know off the top of my head where these are from. I feel like I have so many options that I might as well just pick from what I have. And I'm gonna be honest, I feel like the only right choice is My Magnolia Summer. This book is, like I said, about Sullivan's Island, which is right where I live. That's like the beach that I personally go to down here. And I am so excited. I've had this on my shelf for a minute and I just like haven't had the pull to read it, I guess. So this is a great way to kind of get me there. And of course, having Ellen on the front is helpful because I love my girl Ellen. So this is gonna be our second book. I'll be honest, these were 2 books that I was like really hoping would get picked. So this is going in my favor so far. I really hope it keeps going how I want it to. Oh gosh, okay. This one says top rated on your shelf. That means you have to go through the Goodreads ratings on all of these books. So give me a second. Let's do that really quick. Okay, final guesses. What do you think the highest rated book on the shelf is? I'm gonna be honest, a lot of these were over 4. A lot of them were like 4.2, 4.4. So like very impressive. Take your guess. The highest rated book on my shelf is Fourth Wing. Honestly, not what I was expecting to read this summer, but I really want to read this. One of my best friends loves this book. She's wanted me to read it for like 2 years now. So this just feels good. I honestly am into it. I kind of have not been wanting to read fantasy, but I'm not even mad about low-key reading a fantasy this summer. So this is our next book on our TBR. This is gonna be a really interesting summer for sure. This prompt says reread. So clearly these are my TBR books. I'm gonna go grab the books that I've already read that I would be down to reread. Let me go grab some. I'm not really like a reread kind of gal. I don't really reread books ever, but I've been wanting to reread a couple books that I love on my shelf. So my top 3 ideas, the selection. This was like my favorite series growing up. If you know, you know. Just great book. I've been wanting to reread it since I read them when I was in like 5th grade or however old I was. And so I'd be so down to read this again. I have the first 2. I like thrifted them because I have no idea where the copies from when I was younger are. And I think this would be such a fun like reread series. 7 Year Slip. I enjoyed enjoyed this book, but I feel like I didn't enjoy it as much as everyone else. And I don't know why, but I think if I reread it, I would like almost enjoy it more. I don't know. I think that the magic in this book really confused me, and it was just like hard for me to get into it because of that, but it was such a good book, and I think it'd be kind of fun to like reread it and see what I thought. And the last one, Happy Place by Emily Henry. This is like my book. I love my girl Harriet. She's me, I am her. Like if you want to read a book about me, you should read this book. So I'm gonna be honest, my top 2 contenders are probably The Selection and Happy Place, and I kind of really want to reread Happy Place. This was a 5-star, feels like a good idea. So that's the next one. That's book number 4. So we have 4 more to pick. I'm like so giddy. This is so much fun. This one says start a new series. So let's see if any of these books are even the beginning of a series. Here are all of our options. Let's go through each of them and talk about what we're thinking. First is Carnival. So this is the beginning of a trilogy. And then Once Upon a Broken Heart is also the beginning of a trilogy, and they're connected. But I'm pretty sure Carnival happens before Once Upon a Broken Heart. And I don't think it technically matters which order you read it in. I think you can just read the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy and then read this one. But I like to read things in like chronological order, so I would start with this. I don't know that much about it. It's about like games. No, I know that's not what it's about, but that's like what my brain thinks it's about. Very like fantasy, mysterious. That's like the vibes that I think. So maybe we'll see. If He Had Been With Me, I don't know if I want to cry this month, but I do really want to read this. I feel like there's a lot of books that I've never read that are like the classics of like book talk and like booktube and stuff, and I do want to get around to reading them, and I feel like this one is definitely one of them. Like so many people have read this book, so I'd be interested to read this one too. Six of Crows. This was the second highest rated book on my shelf, so this was almost on the TBR. Should we put it on there? I don't know. I'm not really like wanting to read a fantasy like this. I feel like this is like a really intense fantasy. Maybe not, but like I don't know if this vibe is what I'm feeling right now. The Naturals. This to me feels like an October Halloween read. It's about teenagers and they work for the FBI. It's kind of like Criminal Minds-esque, and I love Criminal Minds. But I don't know, this is just kind of giving fall to me. I am like a mood reader, so I feel like I do need to pick books that kind of fit with the vibe of summer. The Fine Print. I did start this at one point, and I didn't get that far into it, and I just kind of like set it down and read something else instead. So not like a DNF, I guess like a soft DNF. I don't know if I want to read this kind of romance, but I could be into it. And then last, The Assassin's Blade. I know that this is technically not the first book in the series. Throne of Glass is the first book, but again, I'm a chronological reader, so I would like to start with the first book chronologically. That's just me. I feel like my top 2 are probably If He Had Been With Me and Assassin's Blade. I don't know which one I want to read. This is hard. I like don't know what I want to pick. Okay, let me think about like my pros and cons. This is a romance. It's gonna be like easy to read because it's not a super like, you know, fantasy world building kind of thing. Cons, it's gonna be sad. And is it young adult? Like I don't mind young adult, but also, oh gosh, the words are huge, so actually that might make it better. Another pro. I don't know. I have nothing against young adult, but I'm just like thinking about things about the books. Pros for this, I really want to start Throne of Glass. I really love ACOTAR, and I just feel like this is like my natural segue into this series. I think once I get started, I'll just keep going, and I just need to get started to like continue the series, obviously. Cons, do I want to read a fantasy in like this world right now? I don't know. I feel like fantasy is so fall and winter. But guess who didn't read it in the fall and winter? Me. I already have 5 romances if you consider Phoebe Berman and Dolly All the Time. Just like, should I add a Okay. I'm gonna go with Assassin's Blade. I made the decision. I can't put it back now. Okay, next. Oh wait, is that a terrible idea? Because 4th one is like a whole thing. Do I want to start 2 fantasy worlds at the same time? I don't know. I really don't know. Do I take it back? No, I don't take it back. I need to just commit to the idea that I made. Okay, well, that's the next book. I'm terrible at this. I'm so sorry. Why is this proving to be one of the hardest things I've ever done? That was book number 4. No, that was book number 5. Next is book number 6. Why am I like sick? I'm so nervous. Oh, this one just says romance. So that should be pretty easy. What's a cute romance? Okay, I have a couple books picked out. I need to make sure that some of these are actually romance though, because I actually don't know. Okay, I think these are all romances. I need to double check. I'm not sure if this is technically like women's fiction or if it's a romance. Okay, it says contemporary romance, so we're gonna go with it. So the first book we can choose from is Georgie All the Time. I don't know too much about this book. She lives in a big city, but then she has to go back to her like small hometown. She finds an old diary and she's like trying to rebuild her life, but then she comes face to face with an unexpected roommate, the town troublemaker. Oh no, he was once the town troublemaker and now he's the current town hermit. Oh, a grouchy man. Love that. Oh, and they both make their way through her little list that comes from her diary. Okay. Once Upon a Broken Heart is definitely like romantic-y, but still romance. It's about a girl and she like is in love with someone and then they end up marrying someone else. And then she calls this guy. She doesn't call this guy. I'm so terrible at this. She like, there's like a statue. I did literally start reading this. There's like a statue thing and she goes to it and it's supposed to like help her get him back or something. But I'm assuming that goes wrong. And then the Prince of Hearts, that's who she like strikes the deal with, takes her into like a dangerous game. And I think the Prince of Heart is the guy in Carnival. The Right Move is the second book in the Windy City series. I did read Mile High last month and I really enjoyed it. It was very long. This one's also so long. I don't understand how a romance can be this many pages, but it was a good book and I'm pretty sure this one is about her friend and her brother, which I could be really into. It was such a good book, Mile High, so I'm definitely into this one. If He Had Been With Me, this book is about two friends and like I think something happens, they kind of stop being friends and they go in like their own little ways, but she wants to like be with him. I don't know, I think just a lot of things happen. Duh, it's a book. And something about wanting to be with him regardless. Can you tell I don't read the backs of my books? I just kind of go into them blind because that's what it looks like. And the fine print. This book is about a girl and she works at this place. It's kind of like Disneyland, but not, but I would explain it as like Disneyland. And the male main character is like the owner, or like his grandpa, dad was the owner, and like they pass away and then him and his three brothers have to like complete these tasks that I think it's their grandfather that he has them do to like get a share in the company. And they meet each other and like he's really mean and grumpy and she's like really funny and cute. I really did like her character, so could be into this one too. Let's think. My list right now is just looking so interesting. I don't think I want to do Georgia Long. I am honestly putting this back because it's a hardcover. It's the only reason I'm putting that one back right now. I have not been wanting to pick up Once Upon a Broken Heart or the fine print since I started them, but now that I'm like reading the backs, I'm kind of more intrigued again. I feel like I could be into Once Upon a Broken Heart. I'm gonna put the fine print back. I could be into Once Upon a Broken Heart. Actually, no, I'm not gonna be into that one. Okay, so my two choices are The Right Move or If He Had Been With Me. I feel like I should do The Right Move because that's second in a series. I would be like keeping up with this series that I'm reading, and I'm pretty sure If He Had Been With Me is the first in a little trilogy, maybe. So I think I'm gonna, I don't know. Actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and go back on what I just said and I'm gonna pick If He Had Been With Me. I just really want to read this because it's been like a popular book for a long time. And like I said, I'm trying to get into books that are popular, that other people have read. And like, I just wasn't into reading when they were popular, I feel like. So I kind of want to get into them. So I'm picking that one. I'm really having to make decisions today. This is so difficult. Okay, that was book number 6. So we have 2 more choices left. I cannot remember what some of these say. I do know that there's one that I don't want to get that prompt. Watch it be the one I'm opening right now. What if I told you the one I was talking about is the one I just opened? Oh no. Okay. So this one says longest on shelf. Okay. Let me do some digging and let's see which of these is the longest book on here. 451. I feel like we have to have something longer than that. Yeah, no. Nope. Oh, this one's longer. This one is 491. Dang. Nope. Oh, this one's already in the 500s. 545. Nope. No, 479. Dang. Okay. I just know that these two are not. Nope. This one's definitely not. This one's definitely not. This one's definitely not. Oh wait, 542, how many was this? 545, wait, 545, 542, so close, but this one is still longer. I don't think the rest of these are gonna be longer. I think we know what the book is going to be. Nope. Oh wait, no, I think this one might be it. We're already in 600. Shut up, I had no idea. This one is 624. Well, this one might be even longer. No, I don't think so actually. Nope. Okay, let me put the other ones back. So our next book on our list is The Most Fun We Ever Had. I did start this last month and I got 89 pages in. Honestly, I just was in a slump and this was not helping my slump at all. This book is about 4 sisters and their mom and their dad are kind of in it too, and it's from each of their perspectives, and they're all super different, have very different things going on in their lives. And one of the sisters years ago had a child and told nobody except for another one of her sisters, and she gave it up for adoption. It was a closed adoption, like nobody was supposed to know who she was, you know, any of those things. But that child is now back in their lives and they're kind of having to figure that out along with all the other things that are going on in their life. One of them is a widow, one of them is a stay-at-home mom, one of them I'm pretty sure is like pregnant, but I don't know how she feels about it actually, because she's not pregnant yet, but on the back of the book it says she's pregnant, but I know the character. And then one is like the youngest daughter, and I think she's trying to get into like law school. So lots of different things. I love books about women and, you know, the things that they go through different stages of life. So okay, we're picking our very last prompt. There's one on here that says lowest rated on your shelf, and I think that's the only other one that I like don't want. So let's hope I didn't just jinx that. No, this one says shortest on shelf. So a change of events from the last one. What do we think is the shortest? I feel like it's probably Strangers. This one's really, really short. 241. Yeah, I don't think any of these are less than 200 pages. I'm pretty sure every other book was at least 300. I'm very confident that this is the shortest book on our shelf. And I am so thrilled because I have been wanting to read this. I literally just bought it like 2 weeks ago. And I have been wanting to read it ever since I got it. I've been wanting to read it every time I see it at Barnes. So this is the perfect book to end out our summer TBR. This is about a woman who's married, and I think it's like 2020, the beginning of the pandemic. You know, her and her husband are trying to get into like a routine of how to deal with all of that. And one day her husband is like, you know what, peace, I'm going. Don't want anything to do with you anymore, bye. And so now she has to figure out not only how to go through the pandemic, but her whole life changes literally overnight, and she has to figure out what to do, how to navigate her life. And I think maybe she finds someone else, maybe not actually, I don't know, but it sounds so good. And again, I love books like this. I don't know what you would even call this, just like women's fiction. I love women's fiction, so that is so exciting. And with that, we have built our entire summer TBR. I'm gonna go ahead and like clean up right here, and then we're gonna go through all of the books one last time. Beach Read, My Magnolia Summer, Fourth Wing, Happy Place, The Assassin's Blade, If He Had Been With Me, The Most Fun We Ever Had, and Strangers. And then we're gonna honorable mention our other 2 books. Phoebe Berman's Gonna Lose It, and Dolly All the Time, which I need to go purchase. I'm honestly pleased with these picks. Is it gonna be an interesting 2 months? Yes, because we have a range of different genres, which I think is a great thing. We have not only romance, but like fantasy and fiction books. And let's just hope I can finish them all. If I don't, you know, it's okay. This is all just like for the love of the game, but I'm hoping that by the end of this summer, I can tell you guys that I finished my entire summer TBR. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. We're gonna have lots of book things going on this month, lots of vacation things going on this month, and possibly a new series on my channel at the end of the summer that I cannot disclose until the time comes. So until then, I'll see you guys later. Love you. Bye.